This is a Frank podcast.
This is Warriors Life Podcast 2026, episode 29. Will, Brad, and Fonzie on the back of a massive weekend in Christchurch for you and I, Brad. Brought to you by Kingz Container Crew, of course. How good was it to catch up with Tom and Carlos on Saturday, Brad? More about that later, but geez, it was good. Love those boys. And they are your go-to container and container packing and unpacking solutions, dudes. For anything you need in that department across Australia and New Zealand, head to kingskontainercrew.com and hit the Work With Us tab if you're looking for a gig on that team. Geez, wouldn't it be a good team to be on, Brad? Speaking of good teams, the PlaceMakers team had us at the Legends lunch on Friday. So pleased to be on board with them, and what a great time we had. Talk a bit more about that. The best trade range in New Zealand since 1981 at PlaceMakers, Brad, as you well know. And you know how can do people. Jeez, I'm stumbling all over my.
Just so excited to talk about your weekend, aren't you, Will?
I know.
So much to say.
How are you, Brad? You're recovered from the I guess the social batteries are pretty drained. Mine were. I imagine you were.
Yeah, that was more the drain because we were very well behaved, weren't we? Like we'd never really got out of control, or it was very well contained weekend. But there was a lot going on. We always had something to do. There was of our own doing. We chose to boost around the town, left, right, and centre, watching footy games, catching up with people. But yeah, when we got home, everyone just picked a corner of the house and didn't talk to each other for about 4 hours. It was nice, yeah. Then it was tough getting back into work today. What about you, Fonzie? How are you getting on?
Yeah, how are you, mate?
I'm well, mate. I'm well. Yeah, good to see you both. Look, I mean, I had a fairly standard weekend. Ended up having to watch it at the mother-in-law's place, actually, because we're over there for lunch. So sort of snuck off to the side a bit to put it on the screen and watched it with the kids crawling all over me. So, nothing too interesting. So very keen to hear what the game day experience was like for you boys. Geez, it looked good on TV, that stadium and the atmosphere and the whole event looked fantastic.
Yeah, amazing. Such a cool stadium, incredible crowd. Yeah, couldn't really speak more highly of it, really. I was jealous of Brad being in the stands, though. It's the soundproof media box was a little lacking in atmosphere. But yeah, getting out there into the stands, you can probably speak to that, Brad. Just the noise and the buzz around the ground.
Yeah, punter's guide to the stadium, absolutely brilliant. And just how it all works, it's they've got that Aussie stadium vibe to it, where the food, the drinks, the outlets, it's wham bam, you're in, you're out. There's no losing time standing in lines in that stadium. And the view itself, we were in that corner in the first half where Chanel was getting Chance was getting all his tries, and which you'd think on paper would be shithouse seats, but thoroughly enjoyed it and had a good view of everything. Yeah, that's tough. Coming from a town with a roof stadium itself, I was hoping to find a couple more negatives about the joint, but it's hard to pick any holes in it.
You weren't forgotten, though, Fonz. There was plenty of people asking after you that we ran into and asking what you look like. So, yeah.
Very good.
They're fascinated. Your man of mystery status is really working in your favour because people are obsessed with seeing you. One day.
Fair enough. But yeah, so talk me through it. How do you want to tell this story? Because I haven't spoken to these boys, so I haven't had a download at all from them about game day. So yeah, where does this story start, boys?
Well, it starts on Friday morning, picking up Brad from the airport about 9:30. Went and had a bit of breakfast, moseyed around the city, a few car parking snafus, and then into the PlaceMakers Legends lunch. And Legends lunch it was. Legends galore. It was, everywhere you turn there was someone notable, and there's gonna be a lot of name dropping tonight. But it was pretty cool. Brad was pretty excited to be recognised himself by notable people, which was cool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Who?
yeah.
Who's
Well-
the most famous who knew you, mate?
I don't know if he noticed me, but he noticed I don't know if you've noticed either, Fonz, the new denim shirts we're rolling. But and George walked past and read the shirt and stopped in his tracks and come back to shake the hand and have a quick yarn. So that was quite a rad little feeling. I was in the lift at one stage, looked up, it's bloody Dean Lonergan next to me. Had a quick yarn about the building industry of him as we got down, and as we were walking out still talking, we got interrupted by Aaron Whitaker coming to say hello. So it was frantic, and the hospitality, Will. We were so well looked after by placemakers themselves. And is it Tom? Sorry,
Thomas Harris of the Warriors. Geez, he put on
Warriors.
a great event. Congratulations. Sold it out, and it was a fantastic day. At One New Zealand Stadium, we should add, this was in the hospitality suite there. So you walk out onto the balcony, see the deck and see the stands, and it's quite a spiritual feeling almost, but great to be there with the placemakers team, Wayne and Nod and the rest of the crew there, the lovely folk. We had Monty Beetham on our table and Mark Tukey and his wife Rachel. So great times there. Don't want to miss anyone, but listener Craig from Nelson, was that Craig? I think what we saw there, he was a good bloke. Troy at Leadhead, Seaballs from the Wahs Weekly podcast, great fella. Check out their work. And then Simon Mannering, Michael Luck, Lewis Brown, Sean Johnson, Jason Paris, Cameron George. Yeah,
it was loose, wasn't it? And at the end, as it was sort of filtering out at the end there, having a quick yarn with Louis Brown, and then all of a sudden Mannering walks into the conversation, and then all of a sudden Michael Luck's there in the same conversation. You're just chattering away. It's not as if you're and they're just coming in talking. Luck was just taking the piss out of Mannering all night, wasn't he? That was hilarious. I didn't realise Michael Luck was such. Out of everyone I met, I reckon that would be the dude I'd like to sit at a bar with and have a beer with, because Luck is a hard case, and he was chucking Simon Mannering under the bus left, right, and centre. It was hilarious. And that was, I don't know if you've seen that photo on Sosh Med, Fonz, of there was one of me, Will, Louis Brown, Simon Mannering, and it's quite a jovial photo, but it's all because of Michael Luck just jabbing away at people. Yeah, it was hilarious. It was a real cool little moment of my life. But incredibly lucky. But that was that's Friday. This is 2 days out from game day.
Yeah. So a lot to get through before that. But Saturday, Brad tagged along with me on my Canterbury Rugby League duties. The Rugby League World Cup trophies were down at Canterbury Park for CRL junior footy, and so were some of the Warriors. A couple of the women's NRLW players, Peyton Tuckney-Minor and Tyra Wetide. And then Sam Healy and Hazel Mellors came along a bit later to sign some autographs. But Brad was dutifully tagging along.
It was kind of awkward.
Barney as well.
I felt I kept going back to Will's ute, Fonz, because I found myself a 46-year-old male by himself at kids footy. It doesn't sit comfy with me. Like after 2 hours, people should start asking questions about that. So I was trying to be quite inconspicuous. So I'd dice back to the ute every now and then just to disappear. But but it was a good day.
Keeping an eye on them.
It's incredible though. It's a good spot. Met the boss of Canterbury Rugby League there, and he filled me in as to why they do all the league there. And every junior game in one spot in Canterbury on a Saturday morning. It's a scene. It's awesome. Thousands of kids.
We even met a listener, Riz, good fella. Thanks for coming up and having a chat, Riz.
Yeah.
When I met went and had some lunch, decompressed a bit, and when I met the Kingz boys for a couple of beers at the Hornby Club. That was good. Bloody good, actually.
It was good. Finally met Carlos, put a name to the face, or even a voice to the face, and that was nice. Could have dusted a few more there. Hornby Club, that was a rigmarole. They decided to meet us at the Hornby Club, Fonz. No one was a member. Neither of the KCC boys had any ID, so they were waiting on us to get there. So Will then had to sign up as a member and then sign us in as guests, so we could just get a bloody jug with them. It was a bit of a carry on, wasn't it?
It was
Yeah.
nervy because I was responsible for these 3 renegades.
You were,
they-
as a member, you were
Right.
bringing them into your club. You didn't want to disappoint anyone.
Then on to Leslie Park, Greymouth Greyhounds and Hornby Panthers. That was another great experience, and weather was great down there. Packed house, plenty of hound supporters there because they came over for the game. Met some of the crazy characters that have featured in Tales of Runanga and so forth, and I've heard Brad talk about over there. Garrick McDonald, Duggan, Pete Butcher as well, and Kurt Dixon on the Greyhound stuff. Kurt's the coach of the Hounds, and they got a great win. So
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
They
entertaining
did.
stuff.
You caught up with Slade Griffin. He was there having a watch of the Hounds, and Griffin Neame was
floating
also there hanging around a couple of maybe Cowboys boys. I didn't see him, but good biffo too. Good park biffo, Fonz. 10 minutes from full time, just this guy swings at someone for no reason, and then they take it on. All the all the boys are in the club rooms above cheering them on when they come off the field. So they sort of done the Kevin Tarmody or whatever. They had a little squabble on the sideline too. But Hounds come away 28-26 or 28-26.
Yeah.
Was that the score?
Yeah, it's
so
barn burner.
tight battle. 20 degrees though, Fonz, here in Christchurch on the weekend. So it was a lovely
That's balmy,
day.
right?
Yeah. So that was Saturday.
I enjoyed seeing Brad in his natural habitat as well. Back with a bunch of coasters. He's sort of,
Coasters.
you could notice a few little changes in his personalities. He just sort of slipped back into that familiar territory.
And it's funny you say that because you hit me up and you hit me out later on in the day saying, do you change a little bit around coasters? And I didn't think I did, but this is the second time you've brought it up now. Maybe we have to have
You're
a
being
chat
fucking
after the
weird,
show.
man. You're being super weird.
But it was good seeing them. You know
Boys.
what it's like being home. That's home. That's everything about where I grew up. It was good to be around some people that we've got stories for years. You could sit and talk shit about the old days for years and years. So that was a highlight. The Hounds for me.
Yeah, that was awesome. Then back town started hosing down. Checked into your P&B. Your fam turned up, and we gave them about 10 minutes of your time before going out for dinner with Tally and Wheeze. And
He went out for dinner with the boys.
Yeah.
Regroup for Saturday, and then straight back into it. Down to get a pie at in downtown, just down
The
the
Riverside Market.
Bloody good pie, but saw Blake Ashford there. Good yarn to him. Nice guy, Blake.
Shiloh, the cameraman, he was a good bugger too. From Sky.
Yeah, from Sky. Fantastic bloke. Then on to the Warrior Nation catch up at Fat Eddie's. And it was all happening there. What a sensory overload that was, Brad.
It was. Had a good catch up with Richie, didn't we? That was nice seeing him.
Richie
Jeez, he
Morgan.
puts in some work, that kid.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And they were in full swing. The One New Zealand crew as well. My old mate Georgia, Suze, Bridget, and a few others. JP was there.
Yeah.
Great to see some listeners and very humbling. Everyone was so sweet, weren't they, Brad? Shannon Griffiths and his mum were there. Old Jackie Treehorn and Judd.
Yeah, Jackie Treehorn and Judd.
Fantastic
They were good
fellas.
buggers.
They were frothing. Michael Nash and his old man Andy, soul of the earth folk.
The boy racer from Christchurch, now in Melbourne. Yeah.
And there was one fella towards the end whose name has escaped me over by the entrance there. It's the only name I've forgotten.
Oh, I can't remember that either. I can't remember. The one person that I met in there that it wasn't even a listener, but just a great human being. How was that dude out on the deck whose flight got cancelled from Wellington the night before?
Yeah.
He was waiting on a Jetstar flight. He was meant to fly on whatever night, Saturday night. It got cancelled. They waited there from 6 till 11 at night and then got told it was cancelled. So then he went home to the Kapiti Coast and then got up at Sparrow's Fart in the morning, drove to Palmerston North and got on the plane and then flew to Christchurch. And then when he was getting to Christchurch, he said it looked foggy at the window and he was just about to get out of his seat and go bang on the door and tell them, "You bastards, better land this frigging piece of metal." Yeah, he was a hard case. I wonder who he is. But yeah, it was a great weekend. What else happened?
Yeah.
There was another thing. I bumped into an old mate, Spud Pizzardo, outside there, another Renanga lad.
That's right.
Yeah, good times.
Down to the stadium, we split up. Brad, I had a bit of separation anxiety, I don't mind saying, after being with you for 2.5 days. But got to the stadium, got my bearings, set up my gear in the print room. Jeez, it's pretty plush there. Did run into you, so that was nice. And also run into a long-time listener. He's a quiet listener, doesn't comment or anything, but Dom, really nice guy. So thanks, Dom, for coming up and saying good day. And then, you got into your seats, so I got into my booth, and I have to say, I mean, met a lot of famous people, but the only time I was starstruck over the whole weekend was meeting the great Tavlova. Been waiting a long time for that, and what a highlight, the meme god, and what a bloke. So, absolute highlight there. But Brad, take it away. I was behind the glass there. You were in the stands, soaking it all in.
I was in the stands, and there was a bloke sitting next to me. Who said he was actually, after a little while, he said he was a listener as well, and I didn't get his name, but on the back he had a Warriors jersey on. So if you're listening, brother, this is to you. He had a Warriors jersey on, number 7. It had Calvinator written across his shoulders. So I'm picking his names either Calvin or Nator. So so whoever that was, cheers. He was a good lad too there with his kids. I did see Tavlova outside after the game. I walked past him, and I didn't. I wish I had a set up on him. But do you know what happened for us, Fonz? Especially for my boy Odie. His favourite player, Sean Johnson. Just as we were getting around the outside of the building, Sean Johnson was coming out from his duties and trying to get to a taxi. And it probably did annoy him that Odie set up on him. But Odie got his Warriors jersey that he's about to grow out of, and told me in the weekend he wants to get framed now. And got a photo with Sean Johnson. So that was a nice little bit of icing on the cake leaving that stadium that night. Oh, and bumped into Fedu Taiwa, Aaron Whitaker. Just missed Honey Hedemaya. She got away on me. But far out. Epic weekend. And that's just dusting over it. There was so much more that happened in between all that, wasn't there?
Yeah. Bloody awesome. It was, and just can't say enough about, I guess, the Warriors, what they brought to it. Everyone that came to town as well, and just crowded. It was crazy that downtown. It was, it was like Magic Round almost in downtown Christchurch. Just that same vibe.
Not that I want it to be dragged away from Brisbane, but that if there's any town that could handle it and have a stadium that could host it, gee whiz, that place is it. It's right in town, Fonts. You stumble out of the bars and you're there. Shout out to every dude that we did meet. Pretty stoked with the type of character we attract to the show. Every person that we meet that's listened to the show has been just a GC. And that's down to the sponsors, the Kingz boys. Pretty pumped with the people we attract in. Thank you, guys. It's epic. Shannon and your mum, lovely. How'd you go on the raffle, bro? Get anything?
He said that nothing from the raffle, despite the tickets that we were able to foist upon them. So shame there, but he looks like he enjoyed the hickoy from Fat Eddie's to the stadium. The other thing about it, look, just even besides the stadium being unbelievable, the proximity to the heart of the bar district of Christchurch to the stadium is just insane, like second to none.
Even the availability of accommodation. We booked an Airbnb on Wednesday, and it was 100 meters from the stadium. 2-bedroom Airbnb, and it wasn't dear, it wasn't expensive. So that's just geared up for it. The lucky buggers. Geez, wonder if
you probably got a discount for how many times you have to use your swipe card to get in and out of that building.
That was like Fort Knox, wasn't it? Christ almighty. You only got one key card, Fonz, for this place, and everything worked sort of in a slightly different way. So you had to, like, the way you used it on the previous door, don't think you could fucking do that on the next door. You're an idiot if you're thinking that way. Yeah, no, it was horrid.
So coming home with the skinfuls, just obstacle course.
You just climb. You climb, mate.
Well,
Even trying, you should have seen me pack in the car on Monday morning. the key card. I'm carrying boxes of stuff, and yeah, terrible. Sorry, Will. What were you?
The worst? Well, the worst part was when we had to lug all your sponsor merch, our DB stuff, and Low Ugly up to your apartment, and
Yeah,
we both had an armful. Weren't going to do 2 trips. I dropped my shirt for the day in a puddle, and yeah, it was a mess. But
it's right.
Anyway.
And Trace is right. There she is, the love of my life in the chat. My boys, how's this, Fonz? We sat down in our seats up in these cheap seats, and we were just sitting there, and this lady comes and sits down, and before she even plants her ass in a seat, she swings around to my 2 boys and goes, right, I need 2 boys at halftime. We're going to go down and you got to hold flags by the tunnel as the players run out. And my boys are like, yeah, sweet. Well, you mean? So they got down there. So my boys at halftime, when they come back out, there's a guard of honor of kids holding the flags. My 2 boys, just princes, those 2 princes got to go on the field. I was out of it. And we'll touch on how other young children ended up on the field and what happened to them later in the show. Yeah. I've got something about that. But yeah, lucky buggers. Shout out to Arnott Shapes. Cheers.
Yeah, how good. And Shannon Griffiths will just round this off by saying, or as he says, yeah, playing once a year in Christchurch now makes it a must-do for any proper fan. It is such an experience, and just a great getaway, like Magic Round is, and probably a bit more family-friendly, I think.
Definite destination game, isn't it?
Do it. If you can, do it. It's super exciting.
Yeah.
Not too far away from Teamless Tuesday. Jeez.
What about the game, though, Fonts? From a viewer's stance.
38-20, but patchy. Got out to an early lead, strong finish. A few bumps and bruises in between and injuries.
Yeah.
How would you sum it up, Fonz?
Look, I mean, we know the Cowboys don't like tackling all that much, but can score a try. And if something's been sort of characterizing the Warriors this year, it's been, we play to a good system, we'll grind a team down, we'll play the field position completion game. And so, I was sort of, as when we scored those 2 early tries and then Egan splits them up the middle, should have been 16-0, you're looking at it going, because we were just dominating through the ruck, and the Cowboys really had no answer to that. And then I'm looking at it going, this could be anything. But then we did what the Warriors of old have always done, and I thought we might have got this out of our game a little bit. But the other team starts wanting to play. Like, we decide it's easy. We decide we're going to win, so we drop off a bit. And then the other team starts playing touch footy, and we decide we'll play touch footy as well. And we end up in this sort of end-to-end loose kind of game where we don't control the ball, control possession, control field position. And, I think in a game like that, a player like Te Mare looks unbelievable. He plays well. And same with Tane, that sort of loose game suits their kind of off the cuff play what's in front of your style. And gee, it was great to watch. Like, it was a very enjoyable game to watch. Like, some of the skill was awesome and all the rest of it. A lot of action, some good tries and all the rest of it. But I did sort of walk away from it going, yeah, I'm a bit disappointed we didn't stick to the style of play that's likely to take us deep in the comp and grind them into dust. We just got a bit overexcited and kind of started playing their way. And I reckon Webby would be a bit disappointed with that. So, from that perspective, really enjoyed watching it. Not sure it's our best, in our top 5 best performances of the year. Not sure it's a style of play we want to continue to adopt. The Ford injury is going to hurt. I'm hearing that's 10 weeks, 10, 12 weeks is the...
Yeah, it seems to be coming through.
Is that what they're saying? Is that the chat?
Jackson Ford, yeah.
So that's like week 1.
Either the final stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough for someone that's been playing 80 up front for us and up near the top of the Dally-M. So brutal blow for Jackson and the Warriors. Particularly Fish out still in the short term, possibly returning tonight in tonight's team list, which is only a few minutes away. A few outstanding performances, as you mentioned, Fonz. Those spine players had a field day because the game was so so open. Chance, good luck to him on with 4 tries on the weekend, and the 9th player in Warriors history to get 4 in a game. Zan Price saying, is it just me, or was Chance not that good on the weekend? Feel like anyone in our team could have scored those tries? It's probably a fair shout. They weren't. There was one decent run in there to the corner. He did finish well, but it wasn't anything that special, I guess, to get those tries. He was a beneficiary of the great work on the inside, and did maybe positionally struggling a couple of times for those tries that were scored by the Cowboys. And I think Loffy just about scored 6 that day. There was a couple of times when Chance was put on the outside and just needed a bit of extra toe, and he would have been away. But still, great fill-in, 4 tries. Can't be too stroppy with it.
Yeah, he did look half a yard shorter pace, even when he was getting to the corner. And the other thing, we might as well take a couple of negatives. His and Tane's communication was pretty diabolical on a couple of occasions in the weekend. It was like Tane was too scared to overcall the alpha, and Chance couldn't get the fullback mindset out of it. Yeah, in another game that would have really hurt us a couple of those times. But what else did I like? I enjoyed Tamati. Sorry, he's still going good. Those little to go the other way to Dallin for that try was pretty cool. Creating the space for Dallin.
Yeah, and Wade Egan. I mean, unbelievable. The running game, particularly in that first half, was absolutely brilliant. Obviously, unfortunately with the drink water intercept, it's just about getting towards 9.5 perfect 10 territory in the Kingz Container Crew player ratings, but a 9 nonetheless. I thought it was the best on ground. Brilliant setup for Tane's late try as well. And New South Wales could do worse than pick him for the decider, but we'll see what happens there. But
all of a sudden, as a Warriors fan, I'm praying for the State of Origin to be finished so we can get back, get a couple of players back. This has never, ever happened in my history as a fan. Like, we need these people. Communication. Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things there too. We talked last week, Will, you remember about the eye test article talking about how right-heavy we are, particularly with our fullback. And this week we first up, just absolutely smashed that left side, which is where C&K was getting his tries. And also Egan doesn't usually run anywhere near that much. So there was a mix of, obviously the coach, we had a plan that we were going to go left edge because we thought that's where the weakness was, and a mix of Egan seeing what he sees and going after it. But also I think, again, the coach knowing the Cowboys, they're just not that good at around the ruck, and their defensive middle is a bit off, and so getting into it. So that was good to see. I mean, and they reckon Egan was playing a little bit injured as well. Webby said that in the post-match presser. I'm not sure if you were there, Will. You would have
a little ankle injury apparently, But he had no choice in the matter. He had to run with how limp they were around the ruck area. I'm picking probably never. He just cut holes, and how loose that game was. That last try, was it to Nanai or whatever? How he got through. That was sort of how loosey goosey that game was a little bit for both teams, wasn't it? That was.
Well, the Cows were shooting on our halves, so their AB defenders were shooting on our first receivers. I don't know if you could. If live, Brad, I don't know whether you're sitting high, you could see that, but
probably wouldn't see that sitting at home either, though, Fonz, to be honest.
Well, it just looked like they were sprinting out of the line trying to get to our first receivers. So just a bit sleepy about what was happening from Egan around the ruck, and so he was just going, okay, well, if you're going to shoot there, I'm going to go.
It was just
did the job. I just wish we kept it tight and really ground them into dust, because there was a 40-0 on offer there, I reckon, if we just stuck to the process, as they say.
Well, it got a bit hairy a couple of times, 14-10, and we're under the pump, and even the second half, it wasn't all one-way traffic. So it reminded me a bit of that Eels game where we just sort of put it on late, and the scoreline made it look a bit, better than it was. But in the end, I think after 2 losses, few guys out, injuries mid-game, you've got to be reasonably happy with that result. Just need to get back on the winning track ahead of a massive game against the very informed Dolphins in Brisbane. So, but just one player I wanted to pinpoint was Tanner Smith. Came on when Ford went off, outstanding again, career high 180 meters, top of the tackle count, and obviously in front of his home fans, the Hawesville Hornets Junior friends and family. Spoke to him after the game. There's an article up on the Rugby League World Cup website and on our socials. Lovely young man as well, but what a performance, and very timely with these front row injuries.
Just doesn't disappoint, eh? I feel sorry for Vaimonga. We were up in the corner where Vaimonga come on for a couple of those kick restarts, and he just wanted to go from the back fence, and all of a sudden they started kicking from the other side. And on the second or third occasion, he started drifting the other way, just wanting it. The poor bugger never got his chance. It's actually teams are starting to avoid that run there. It was quite evident from where we were sitting. As soon as he come on, they started kicking deep the other corner all of a sudden.
Nick Bewley saying Will was the best looking bloke in the media tribunes until SJ walked in. I was the worst looking bloke in there. And as you can see by that little profile pic there, Nick Bewley, my old mate, my old AFL rival, goes pretty well himself. So, but it was good times in the press conference. Yes, Ricky, you did hear me stumble over a couple of questions for Webby. I thought Webby seemed a little bit. I did want to bring this up. Probably should when we're having that coach chat later, Fonz. But he seems a bit sort of not downbeat, but a bit more subdued. Do you remember the 2023 Andrew Webster and the press conferences? And it was like a breath of fresh air. I just think maybe he's a little bit fatigued by it all. He's not unpleasant and he's not prickly or anything, but he's certainly not the same Andrew Webster in the presser that he used to get when he was new on the scene. I think that's probably just standard for an NRL coach. But
caught a bit of coach's cancer. Bit of coach's cancer, mate. They all end up a bit miserable in that. Yeah, poor bugger. They all start out the best intention, like a politician. In real, is that right? Oh well, you got a bit on the coaches. What is the time? We must be getting close.
Team's been out for half an hour.
But we call the shots here, boys.
Sorry, Will, man. Sorry, Will, mate. Am I center of screen there, Will?
Yeah, you're all good, mate. So here we go. Tane Tuapiki at fullback, Dallin Martinez-Lesniak and Chance Nicolas-Day remaining on the wings. Ali Leatawa and Adam Pompey the centres. Nice bounce back from those two last week. Chanel Harris-Davida and Tamaite Martin likewise in the halves. Tanner Smith, Wade Egan, Mitch Barnett, Jacob Laban, Kurt Capewell back post-origin, and Aaron Clark you're looking forward pack there. Interchange, Sam Healy, named to return. He was a late scratching on Friday. Eddie Edemi and Taiava, who has played the last couple of games, Dimitri Vaimonga, Marata Nukore, and that six-man bench completed again by Kalis Fatilofa and Luke Metcalf. They were the two unused players on Sunday. Reserves, Makai Tafua, who I guess is maybe a chance again of coming into the dummy half bench role. Jai Lanane and Jason Salililo, another knocking on the door of an NRL debut. Played New South Wales Cup in front of his home fans in Canterbury. Got a quick yarn with him after the Cup game. Big loss that though, disappointing. But he scored a try in front of friends and family, and nice young guy as well. But what do you reckon, boys? I guess more or less as expected. We maybe thought Loffy or James Fisher-Harris might be ready for a return, but again, it does showcase our depth. We've got quite a few out now. We're still pretty damn happy with that team. Yeah, what do you make of it?
I think it's starting to affect the bench a little bit, these injuries, maybe. But otherwise, as a team, it's not a shithouse team we're going to march out there.
Yeah. I mean, I think Vaimonga's probably just been a touch off his best the last couple of weeks. And I think Eddie's, at times he's there. I'm not sure he has quite the impact. So I do think we're going to miss Ford and Fish. The NRL site says Fish is back around 19. So what's that? After the bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So really one more this game and then we get
Yeah.
Fish back, which changes the complexion a fair bit. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a hell of a Dolphins team. I watched them who'd they beat? They beat Titans week before last, was it? I think.
Tigers on the weekend.
Yeah, I didn't see them against the Tigers this week, but I watched them against the Titans the week before, I think it was. And yeah, they're a hell of a footy team, pretty well balanced. There's not a lot of weakness there. I mean, you can run your blokes at Cody, and there's going to be a mismatch there, but it's not a bad team. And this is what they're coming third, I think. Equal third.
Seven on the trot. They've won too.
So this is a big game, really. I mean, because our aim here is to finish second, and get that home final. And this is probably our biggest contender. The Dolphins, I reckon, are probably the team most coming to get us there. So it's a massive game
Origin
Origin
hasn't done us any favours. A couple of those Queensland boys in terms of playing them into form. Cobbo and Fido.
Cobbo was unbelievable.
Get them out of that. All of a sudden, you're getting them back from that Queensland squad for a bit of confidence. Yeah, this is a tough one this weekend.
We beat them by 2 last night. Oh, sorry, you go.
Oh, yeah, no, carry on, Fonzie, the Anzac Day game.
Yeah, we beat them by 2. And I'm trying to think back to that. That was before Boyd got injured, wasn't it? So we were playing.
It wasn't a great game from us, nor them. It was a bit of a scrappy affair. And since then, they haven't looked back, haven't lost. We sort of went up a gear. I think we beat Melbourne the week after. So
yeah,
I think both teams will be better. But they are just about at full strength, and we're missing a few.
Yeah. That's going to be the difference this weekend, I think. I think we can beat them, but wouldn't be surprised if we suffered a loss going to the bye. To be honest, with the way they're lining up at the moment, and if we can roll over the top of this, geez, that will just fill me with pride and heart about this team this year. If these guys can get up and get this done, how do the benches line up together? What are we?
Yeah, shall we run through this Dolphins team quickly? Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow at fullback, obviously having a great year. Jermaine Osako on fire, Selwyn Cobbo on the back of that Origin hat trick. This is a match up that is quite concerning. Their centres, Jack Bostock and Herbie Farnworth. Leotawa handled Farnworth reasonably well. He did score that kick and trash tie early and kept pretty quiet after that. But yeah, that could go pear-shaped quite easily. Same with Bostock and Pompey. Bostock have just come from nowhere in the Origin squad last week. He's been on fire. Cody and Katoa in the halves, one of the best halves pairings going around. Bit of similarities, I suppose, between our halves, but Katoa's got a far superior kicking game, and probably a bit more better at steering a team around the park. Tom Flegler, Francis Molo in the front row, Jeremy Marshall-King, quality hooker, although I'm pretty happy with how we match up in those three positions. Connolly, Lemi, Alu, the last week debutant, Kulikefu, Funi Fuiaki, Morgan Knowles, the English veteran, having a good year. Interchange, they've got Origin players on the bench, Max Plath, Kurt Donahoe, Ray Stone, Felice Kaufusi, and Brad Snyder and Oren Keeley also on that 6-man bench. So plenty of quality. I think, Tom Gilbert looks to be out. He's been ruled out after last week. So I guess that doesn't quite cancel out Jackson Ford's injury, but a key middle rotation player out of both sides. Although we've already got a couple.
8-17. That's not a bad matchup, though, eh? We can be pretty good about that. Their backs are dangerous because Farnworth had a real unhappy night that last game, and is he going to have? Can we bank on him having that sort of night again against us? There's a couple. That back line scares me a little bit. It does scare me a little bit.
You'd look at it and say we might have a slight edge in the front row, maybe across the just a little bit more there, but
back rowers we've got them over them though, don't we?
Yeah,
Laban, Capewell, Clark, we douche them there.
Yeah, you might say we've got a slight edge in the pack, and halves are about even, and their back five is quite a bit ahead of ours.
Laban has been increasingly impressive. Gone up a gear since Lecker's injury. He's great under the roof there on Sunday. Geez, he just hits that line and went through a couple of times. His combination with Tamati popping up over on the left is working very nicely, and aerial threat. It's great to see. Laban really coming into his own.
Not flashy, but he's almost like that ready replacement for when Capewell does finally leave proper with Halasima and Laban. Laban's a lot more reliable. He's like Stowers Smith in there. He's that reliable sort of player that doesn't give you the sort of the low grade sort of games. Where's Lecker? So he's still missing as well. That's a bit of a shame.
Yeah. So it is, does illustrate our depth that we are missing so many. This is still a very handy line. But tough one here. Chris Downey saying he was hoping to see Rocco back in some way. He didn't line up in Cup either on the weekend.
Did he not?
Around his trainers.
You sure?
So you're not quite sure what
did
was
he
going
not play
on.
Cup?
No.
I thought he did.
I don't think so. Because he wasn't he named initially on the 6-man bench?
Yeah, he was. And Metcalf didn't play Cup either, did he? So the two of them probably
he did sit on the bench the whole time. So he was suited up, ready to go. He just didn't play. Now, oh no, sorry, scratch that. Rocco did play half a game in Cup. Riz is all he's beat me to it. He did play 40 minutes. So not sure if he was sort of taken off, just still building up that game time. So hopefully no injury there. Chris Downey mentioning also that TAB has long odds to win. Do you guys want to
do you want the weather report first before you chuck in your thing?
Go for it, mate. Because that will affect my prediction.
Okay. So Brisbane looks like a dry week leading up to the game. Saturday, you're looking at 18 to 20 degrees with a chance of rain. Little chance, couple of showers, like half a mil to a mil through the afternoon. Must be an early kickoff over there, is it? 5 o'clock our time, 3 o'clock Aussie time. Is that right?
Are we first up on Saturday?
Yeah. So Saturday Arvo, warm but maybe a little bit greasy at Suncorp too. So we'll have a crowd behind us. So what do you think, boys?
I think we're going to be 250-ish outsiders for this one. What do you
I
guys
need
reckon?
a bit more, I reckon. If I was a neutral punter, I reckon I need 270, 280. I reckon something like that.
TAB's not neutral, so I'll go down to 230.
Okay, what do we got?
Fine.
240. Dolphins $1.57.
240. And 240. Little quick funny quick segue. Shout out Nath Young plumbing down here in Otago. Every time we always joke about if he's just unblocking a drain, a quick plumber's job. $240. For some reason, plumbers, if they're there for half an hour or an hour and a half, it's always $240. So that's righto. That sounds believable.
Get on it. It's a good omen, Brad. 4.5 points. That total points line at 50.5. The Dolphins can rack up some scores. They've scored 28 plus on this every match of the 7-match winning streak, and 36, 48, 40 in their last 3 since the bye. So they've been putting on some scores. I don't think they've come up against a defensive unit quite as adept as this Warriors side. So good matchup. It's going to be a good shootout. We had a cracking game against them last year. I think it finished. It was a real thriller, 16-12, and we held them out late. But it'd be good to see if it's a low scorer like that. I think we get the chocolates. If it gets a bit open, could come back to bite us with the strike they've got in the back five.
I'd love this. This 2 points is even more valuable after Penrith dropping that game to the Titans in the weekend. I think. I don't want to give up 2 points after that. They've given up. to last weekend. I got a message. Kenny Frisbee, you know him well, a friend of ours.
Yeah.
I got a message from Frisbee at about 11 o'clock Saturday night, and all it said was, "This acid is awesome. It makes you think Titans beat Penrith."
Yeah, I got some similarly spurious messages from Kenny
Along
as well.
the same vein.
Yeah. But excited for this one though, boys, and excited to be. I've enjoyed my experience at Mount Smart and One New Zealand Stadium the last couple of weeks, but looking forward to kicking back, watching an early Saturday game at home. How good?
Yeah. I'm contemplating maybe open the doors to the come on in, see if anyone wants to watch it on the big screen in here for the first time this year. So that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Although, is it one you invite people around to watch? Probably not, eh?
You might get a bit, bit wild there, Brad.
Yeah, I don't know. Shit. Score prediction?
We're kind of past that, aren't we? Though, like, as in,
true.
The Warriors are that good with that many wins that I feel like you get your mates around now to watch the Warriors, even if they do get dusted. No one's kind of, there used to be that typical bloody Warriors. What you get me around to watch this rubbish for? That's gone, isn't it?
You're spot on. Yeah, you're spot on, I think, Fonz. Because even in a loss, it looks like there's effort gone in these days, doesn't it? Yeah. No, you're spot on. Right, I'll sling the doors open.
A bit more, throwing it back to last weekend, Brad. You did mention some snafus at the end of the game, and that brings us nicely into our no ugly salty moment of the week. But I'll give you mine. Mine's a personal one. So after all the organizing, all the the admin, everything ran smoothly. No cock ups when there's a lot of moving parts, changing outfits, leaving vehicles everywhere, picking people up, dropping people off, getting from here, there to everywhere over the few days. And I got to the final hurdle and fucked it up royally. Left my laptop charger in the press room at One New Zealand Stadium. Didn't realise till I got home. I live 45 minutes away from the stadium. So, the last possible thing that I could cock up, and I did.
And how close were you? Because you had to get the King's container crew ratings out. So what were you down to trying to punch in that last player rating?
I don't have a great battery on my laptop when it's not plugged in. So I was racing the clock. So if it seemed rushed, it was. If there were a few spelling mistakes, I'm going to pin it on that. But yeah, it was. It got pretty hairy there for a while. Didn't spend much time on the bench players, that's for sure. But got them out. Kind of derailed the next morning. Had to wait until late morning. Drive all the way in. Scale the stairs up to the top deck there in the empty stadium and pick it up. Yeah.
Is it scary in the stadium by yourself? Does it feel like people walking behind you? Like sometimes in the dark.
It was a little eerie.
No, that would be gross. Salty moment.
No, great, spectacular.
Not so much my salty moment, or are you going to dish out the award? Did someone write in?
Yeah, and just to explain the salty moment of the week, we give away a case of No Ugly Salty. No Ugly has a great range of scientifically formulated functional beverages. There they are. Brad's got to cart some back to Dunedin with them. They're on
rapidly hydrates
the side there as well. Yep, they've got gut health, sleep focus, hydration, and calm. But No Ugly Salty is the next cab off the rank. They're replenishing isotonic hydration drink. And clean, still, and balanced. No sodium bombs. Great stuff. You've been fucking knocking them back, Brad, and you look like $1 million on the back of it too.
You're sorting out my complexion as well, I reckon.
Are they available in Australia? Do we know?
I think they do. No Ugly did branch into Australia, but we'll have to check that, Fonz. I'm sure we can get some over to you, mate.
I'm going to suss it out.
You're awfully polite when Fonz asks you a left field question. If I ever ask you for one, I'm getting raked across the coals. How dare you? Yeah, no, there's a bit going on here that we need to talk about after the show. But
I'm off the grog for an extended period, so it'd be perfect.
Are you? Are you dry?
Yeah, I'm doing 3 months. So
Hey, you
3
starting
months.
from when? Yesterday?
no, about 3 weeks in. So
Have you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well done. Good effort.
Take you to about the eve of the finals, Fonz, then fucking
it's
back into it with gusto.
It's been carefully timed. Yeah, no, just trying to
Yeah.
hit some fitness goals, and I just can't do them while I'm on the drink, basically. So
You get sick of those black eyes too.
Now you got that pull, Fonz. You need a pull body. So
yeah, something like that.
I'm proud of you, mate. Yeah, no. Well, I'll lead off with the no ugly salty moment of the week. Winner, this joker gets a case of no ugly salty, 12 500ml cans of it. So it'll be winging its way to you. Bear with me here. It is none other than our mate Jackie Treehorn.
Oh, is it Jackie?
Yeah, Jackie.
Is.
I was at the game in Ōtautahi. Brilliant stadium atmosphere, experience, and overall vibe. Chef's kiss. However, my salty moment is twofold. Parents, don't let your kids get on that beautiful field after the game. And security, go easy on the kids when you get to them to get them off. Both actions not needed after such a brilliant arvo. So you'll be getting that case of no ugly for your efforts. But yeah, Brad, you had I had a reasonable view of it from the press box. Just happened to glance down, and it was all happening. You were even closer.
Yeah.
I
witnessed it. This is the same moment. This is goal. So what happened? Roll it back. First 14-year-old decides to jump over the fence. Red Jackets. This is right on full-time whistle. So the Red Jackets aren't really up to what they're not focused on the job. This kid makes it out to the 40. And all of a sudden you could see it, the realization like on his face, I'm at the 40. So he sort of just submits. What do they call it in league when you give into a tackle?
Voluntary tackle.
Yeah. So voluntary tackle out at the 40-meter line. Well, the next 14-year-old decides he's going to jump over the fence. All of a sudden, the Red Jackets, they're on their job. This kid gets out into the dead ball area, sort of getting near the posts. One comes in from the east at about knee height, and the other one comes in from the west at chest height, and essentially just rips this kid in half. Poor bugger, heavy-handed, I know, but at the same time, you need to learn. If you jump that fence, it's martial law, like they're a rule until they're own. But anyway, Dad didn't.
He also smashed into the goalpost. Into the goalpost into the mix. So was it like a three-way, like a
absolutely pumped. This kid, I reckon he won't jump his grandparents' fence at their lifestyle block again. Like fences are going to haunt this kid for the rest of his life. But anyway, Dad didn't take too kindly, so Dad jumps a fence. He goes out there, giving the Red Jackets a bit of lip. And next minute, he's in a headlock and hog tied and wrestled to the ground as well. So they get him, and they get him, and they're starting to struggle. Well, bugger me, you think you've seen it all? Bloody granddad, immaculate silver skullet, like he's got a mullet and a ponytail. He gets out all chest puffed up, and they sort of go easy on him a little bit, and he's giving them a bit, and they sort of just humor him because they don't want this crazy field all of a sudden. It was like a tinder. It could have just exploded. So they sort of just humor him for a bit, just as they're getting off the field, and they get to the concrete tunnel. Next minute, Granddad must have said a little bit too much. Next minute, boof, 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 whack. He's in the headlock and on. So you got Junior, Dad, and Dad all getting trudged up the table. Like, what are you up to, eh? Like, holy roly, hey. Like, do it at a shit stadium, not at the best stadium in New Zealand. Get blueied from one you don't want to go back to, eh? So, admittedly, they were heavy-handed, but at the same time, it's no man's land in there, eh? If you jump that fence, you got to be ready to cop a bit of punishment. But yeah, it was so funny the way it unfolded. Three generations.
It's a good one for the Christmas letter this year.
Dad wasn't happy, and Granddad he was even unhappier. Yeah, entertaining, but
a good lesson. Timely lesson. Yeah. Congratulations, Jackie Treehorn. And
yeah, you're a good bugger too, Jackie,
ugly,
mate.
Yeah, bloody good bugger. And you're no ugly salty at the moment this week. get as creative as you like, and you might be getting a case of that yourself. So thanks, No Ugly, for making all these wonderful prizes available to our listeners and for your support of this Warriors Life. Now, Fonz, we had a listener question, actually from one of our paid subscribers. If you want to become a paid subscriber to This Warriors Life, by the way, thiswarriorslife.com, get on that Substack, keeps the extra content for your trouble. And this is from Crizzle, another good bloke. Did you want to read it out, Fonz, and then have a crack at answering?
Yep. Just bringing it up now. So the question is, I'll leave out all the stuff saying how great your content was over the weekend, Will.
Oh, that's why I wanted you to read it out.
Just wondering if you and the boys could have a convo where you give Webby a mid-year rating out of 10. Disclaimer, I love Webby, but I feel the squad is looking a little exposed with some positions looking vulnerable if we get more injuries. I feel like by this stage of the season, we could have a couple more guys in the wider squad with a few games in them to step up. I'd give him an 8 out of 10. We are coming second, but he has some work-ons. So that's the question. I was a little bit surprised by this one. I mean, he is giving Webby an 8 out of 10, so he's not, he's saying that's a good score in anyone's language. I think, as usual, Webby's coaching's been unbelievable this year, and I was thinking about this earlier. I can't think of any other coach who's coached as well as him. I'd be giving him a 9 or a 10 out of 10 this year. And I suppose my thinking would be, obviously we're coming second. What have we lost? We lost the two games where Metcalf was parachuted back in. Then we lost the tight one to the Panthers when we're under injury, and the tight one had a couple of injuries, and the tight one to the Sharks when we've had some injuries. They were both 2-point losses, weren't they? So otherwise, pretty clean sheet through the year. Look, I think the only thing I can think of that Webby's done that I thought was a mistake was when he brought Metcalf back in, disrupting the halves conversation for those halves combination for those 2 games earlier this year, and at the same time swapped the fullback out, moved Chance out of fullback. I think he did those 2 things at the same time in a single game that disrupted the flow of the squad. And I think that was an error. But other than that, I can't really think of any errors he's made this year, and like big material errors. And on the other hand, he's prepped the squad almost as though he knew the game was going to be a certain way with that faster ruck and the ref interpretation and so on. No other squad has taken to the new rules as easily as we have and had the benefit of it. We've had the Metcalf situation, which we've talked about at length, where the marquee player in the squad, arguably, is upset and agitating to leave. That can knock a club season over entirely, and it didn't. We've managed to stay in, sustain the form even with that Metcalf stuff going on in the background. That must have been causing some waves. So that sort of man management of that situation, I think, has been very good to keep us rolling. I think he has brought through enough of the young players, like your, Eddie's getting more game time. Fatia Lawfa's just coming into the calculation now. Also, the young hooker, Tofua, has been blooded, and we're, I think we're still in a place where we're consolidating some of the guys who emerged last year, this year. So I don't think it's, I don't think it's right that there's a couple more we should have brought through and given first grade experience. I think he's done that about right, would be my take on it. So no, overall, I'm really struggling to fault him. I think it's been a bit of a coaching masterclass to this point. Because you've got to step back and think, we're running our third string halfback. Mm-hmm. We've had a lot of injury disruption along the way. We've had this Metcalf disruption along the way. He has made some ballsy calls, like putting Tate into fullback instead of just sticking with CNK, who was there. Like, he made that call before. I know injuries were involved, but he made that call and he stuck to it. The system seems to work so that you can literally have one halfback go down, another one come in the next week, and you don't need to beat. So I think it's been a coaching masterclass, to be honest.
Yeah, I tend to agree. He's created a blueprint that that a team that has suffered quite a lot of injuries and lineup disruptions has been able to carry on without, you wouldn't really know that you're missing players and key players. I think my favourite part that sort of hints at a bit of a change in Webby is he's been a bit more flexible with his selections. We did see, I think, in the past couple of seasons, and particularly 2024, we didn't have a great year, that he would sort of revert back to his favourites, almost like, default to your pre-season first choice lineup. But this year he has rewarded form. Tane's kept that fullback spot, which I think is the right call because he hasn't had a bad game. Obviously, the Metcalf situation, the way it unfolded, maybe changed things a little bit, but he's stuck with Tamati in there, and he's come up trumps every game he's played. Bringing Cam Pereira in and giving Roger another crack at centre, and then sticking with that, and Loffy keeping that wing spot until getting injured. I just really like the way that he is. If you play well, you keep your spot, and that's probably the way it should be. And it's certainly working for them.
Yeah, we kept getting to mention Roger going down as well, and I mean,
huge one.
Again, like the rep of the players in this squad is high at the moment because we're coming second and they're winning games. But pre-season especially, if you went through this squad, no one would have thought this squad was a squad that was going to come second. Like if you said, if you just read out the game day squad we got this weekend, people would have been talking about that squad getting the spoon. It would have been who's that? No, I just think it's unbelievable what he's done. And part of the reason, I'm still in that place where I'm looking at it going, I wonder if can we keep this up? Like, are the wheels going to come off? Because I still think this squad is overperforming. But I think it's just that well coached, that well drilled. They're working together so well. Some of the younger guys are reaching that next level. Some of the older guys have found a lease on life that they're the real deal. I'm not doubting that at all. But you got to understand, like over here in Australia, especially, if I'm talking to footy heads who follow other teams, don't follow the Warriors closely, they're just like really surprised that we're doing as well as we have, and they're wondering who some of these players are that are putting in, like Tadastyle Smith. I've had multiple people say to me, "Who the hell's that bald young front rower? Where the hell did he come from? And how is he suddenly playing footy that good?" I couldn't speak highly enough of the coaching, I think, is my sense. But I understand the question. It's a good one to ask.
Yeah, I think
you're happy with Webby.
I'm happy with the way he's going. I'm happy. I think one thing you've pretty much covered everything that I was thinking there, but just the timing and how he's blooded the guys. We've always, and you've always been quite patient in terms of blooding players, Fonz. I think it is starting to reap its reward. Harry bloods these young fellas and introduce them to the team. That has been a massive thing a massive part of how we're starting to get to a point now with the injury toll we've got in those forwards. We could be exposing some people too early, but he's been able to expose them in those little spits and spats that just make them game day ready when the time comes.
Yeah, and I think the other player who would have got time as a bit of a new young up and coming player was Gannon, but he just had all those injury problems. But otherwise, he would have been in the mix too as someone else who'd been flooded in NRL and was one of this new breed coming through. But yeah, no use putting someone up for the sake of it. They've got to be ready, And I think he's about right on that.
Webby's still my favourite coach in the NRL.
Cheers to the question, Crizzle. We've got, hopefully, boys, got time for our PlaceMakers Legend of the Week. And we definitely should have time for it because we're indebted to PlaceMakers for their support and taking us to the Legends Lunch. Can't wait to get up to that one in Auckland in September, Brad. It's really whet my appetite. And we get to wear our nice new shirts.
It's all they played all day. That was kind of out of it, eh? At that PlaceMakers Lunch, just that whistle.
It's just on loop.
Yeah.
Really drilled into your head after a while, but no. And our PlaceMakers legend of the week. I've been quite keen to use this guy and
Is this a
highlight.
personal favour yours, is it?
Yeah, just one of those sort of cult hero,
Make it a
forgotten guy.
quiz. What year?
All right, Brad. 96 to 99.
Any
a
other
front
clubs?
rower. No other clubs in the NRL.
96 to 99. Fonz, you got anything there? 96 to 99. No other. Oh, he's from English. Is he English?
No, he is a Kiwi, but didn't play for the Kiwi Test team. Just note that very careful wording there. And yeah, what else? That's about all I've got.
I got no one. Joe Vagana. It's the only thing I can think of.
No, he's played a lot of Kiwi Test footy. So yeah, any comments? This could be a pretty boring listen.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put you out
Put
of
us out of our misery. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. No, go.
96 to
There you
99.
go. Warrior
Brady
number
Malin.
37, Brady Malin. Yeah,
He was a
one of my,
toiler.
Yeah, worked hard and really forged a nice little Warriors stint for himself in a tough period where the club, was battling after all those early high hopes and struggled through those few years. He was a consistent performer. He actually started as a hooker and he played for Auckland at hooker against Great Britain in 92. Bulked up a bit, grew into his body and debuted for the Warriors in 96. He was part of that reserve grade grand final team coached by Frank Endicott that year as well. Forged a regular first grade spot for the Warriors in 97. Played just about every game for them that year and played for the Super League Tri-Series team, the New Zealand Tri-Series team that played
did he?
New South Wales. And fun fact here for you, the only member of that squad that didn't play for the full New Zealand Test team. So, tough one for Brady. He probably could have, or definitely could have got a New Zealand call-up. I think he was good enough, but we're pretty flush for front rowers around that time, Pongia, Lomax and Wagner and all those guys. So unlucky. 98, played every game for the Warriors, one of only 3 players to do that under Frank, and then sort of faded down the pecking order under Mark Graham in 99. But a nice little conclusion to his professional career. Went to Wigan, played 28 games in one season, and his last professional game was in the Wigan Warriors Super League Grand Final loss. So handy little career. Released at the end of that year, and then just sort of faded into the ether professional rugby league wise. But favourite of mine, just a good honest prop. Teams are built around players like that. Didn't get the plaudits, didn't get the rep jumpers, but nice little Warriors career, and one that I think everyone fondly remembers if you're from that era.
Yeah, well deserved, and it's good dragging these players out that haven't had the plaudits. These absolute legend that tooled away in the background, all the fancy ones around them. That's awesome. Brady Malin, I really like that one. Will, great choice.
Yeah, thanks, mate. And we've got a recent placemaker. We won't spoil it, but we've teed up a recent PlaceMakers Warriors legend for an episode coming up soon, hopefully during bye week. So look forward to that. But Brady Malin, it's your time tonight, buddy.
Yeah.
And you get that little jingle as well.
Yeah,
we've got I've just seen a question pop up in the comments that we might try and answer. And if it's, Chris Downey's, boys, any comments on Metcalf getting booed when the teams are announced at the stadium? I actually didn't. Are our fans really that salty still? I didn't actually notice that. Did you happen to? I was kind of behind the glass.
No, I don't know if I was there. I was probably still trying to get chicken and chips and beers and that sorted by that time. So no, I didn't. I can't. I've got no. I don't know enough to have an opinion on that one. Sorry.
I think, I mean, personally, I think we can just put our cue in the rack with that. The dust has settled. He's hung around. It's still a week away from June 30, but I'm assuming he's going to hang about to the end of the season. We might need him. Fonz, any update on that as far as, us needing Metcalf? I think, Tamati is just playing too well it really does seem like an injury that's going to see any change. The length of the kicking game aside, it's going to have to be a few sort of dud weeks in a row before Metcalf is going to roll into this team on form.
Well, let's see how we go this week. I mean, we lost to Penrith, and there's no shame in that, but I reckon Penrith with Nathan Cleary would have shown us up in a different way. Then we lost to the Sharks. And arguably our 7, he didn't have a bad game, but arguably
scored a try.
Yep, but arguably Metcalf was a difference in a game like that last year. I'm not saying we've got that Metcalf this year, but arguably. Now we've beaten the Cowboys in, for want of a better phrase, a bit of a game of touch footy. I don't think that footy on the weekend wins you a comp. So,
but he was very good.
He was excellent, outstanding.
Yeah.
But I don't think that style of footy wins you a comp. So let's see how we go this week. I mean, again, people have to understand. I'm looking at this from the perspective of I want us to be in that grand final. I want us to finish second, and I want to get to a grand final against Penrith with Nathan Cleary playing, and I want to feel like we've got a chance in that game. And I've got to say, at the moment, on what I'm seeing, I feel like if we get to that grand final with Penrith with at full strength with Nathan Cleary, and we're at full strength, I don't think we've got a chance. And I think that Metcalf could be a point of difference if we can get his best footy going in time. So jury's still out for me. I haven't seen him play enough cup to understand where he's really at and what his defence is like. But I'm also not seeing our footy. Our footy needs to go up a level from where it is if we're going to win a comp this year. So let me leave it at that, and let's see how we go this week. I think it's going to tell us a lot this week, actually.
I fully respect that opinion and totally see where you're coming from, but I just don't think that Webby is going to make that change unless, they start playing really badly, and particularly Tamati starts sort of dropping his bundle a bit. I just don't see that happening. And also, sorry, Brad, while he's still he's sort of slid onto the 6-man bench again now. Metcalf's not getting the opportunity, to prove himself or get, the reps in to sort of force the issue either from that side. So, it continues to be a fascinating little selection battle there.
Yeah, sweet. And that's exactly what I was going to say. If he's not going to play him, he needs to start playing cup again to get some meters on his legs. Ah, sweet. Yeah. What do you reckon? Is that a show? Is that a podcast?
Yeah.
They call
our longest ever. But no, thanks for bearing with us as we reminisced about the weekend that was, and enjoy everything that's to come this weekend and into another bye. Not sure what the bye has in store for us, boys. We'll work that out on the other side. But thank you, boys. Thank you to Kingz Container Crew, PlaceMakers, No Ugly, our paid subscribers in particular. And go like, subscribe, do all that sort of carry on. Helps us out. Give us some ratings, leave some comments, kind ones, and see you on the other side. Any parting words, boys?
No, looking forward to what is, top of the table, second versus third clash this weekend.
Nervy, but I'm fully focused on the roast dinner sitting inside on the table at the moment. So
sweet. Well, you get in there and do that, mate.
Yeah.
Right out. Until next time, look after yourselves, Andy.